Hi, I'm Kathleen.
I'm Ellen.
I'm Angie.
And you're watching Word of Mouth.
Is it possible even to teach a deaf, blind child half of what an ordinary child learns? Has it ever been done?
No, never. But then I thought, when I was going over his reports, he never treated them like ordinary children, more like eggs everyone was afraid would break.
What will you try to teach her first?
First, last, and in between, language.
Today we saw The Miracle Worker,
Which is a show about Helen Keller and her teacher, Annie Sullivan.
There's this family and their little baby daughter, Helen Keller, is sick, and they realize that through her sickness she has become blind and deaf. Because of that, she, and the lack of understanding, her parents never really could figure out how to teach her to be sort of a normal child. She's almost animal-like. She's very violent. The first time you see her, she nearly stabs another child with a pair of scissors, but the family's basically just trying to exist with her, not trying to tame her or to teach her. They're just trying to get by minute to minute. So they hire Annie Sullivan, who is a governess from Boston, and they hire her to help sort of try and get her in control. But Annie Sullivan comes in with even bigger aspirations. She's just like, I'm going to teach her how to learn. I'm going to teach her language.
So she's trying to figure out, how do I break through to this child? How do I make her understand that there is a way to communicate, if only she can make the connection between signs and words? And that's pretty much the story. Abigail Breslin played Helen Keller. She's probably most well known for her role in Little Miss Sunshine, the movie. For a 13-year-old girl, she was really, really good, especially because this is such a challenging role. Helen Keller has no lines in the entire show. She is just amazing. I mean, she's playing this 10, 11-year-old child who's blind and deaf. And you really get the sense that the character is afflicted, but also you get the glimmer, because of Abigail Breslin's talent, of the intelligence that kind of lurks within, waiting to be unlocked. Allison Pill plays Annie Sullivan, and she too did just an amazing job. Especially, you just really get into her sense of frustration. You could feel her emotions coming through the entire theater, and she also had she was also just naturally very humorous. Like, she was very natural about it in the way she interacted with the characters, but at the same time she was also funny, and that helped lighten some scenes that would have otherwise been a little bit of a downer. She is just amazing. This really is. It's called The Miracle Worker, and The Miracle Worker is Annie Sullivan, and that's the core of the play, and it's because of Allison Pill's performance. Jennifer Morrison played Kate, Helen's mother, and she was very good. At first, I was having trouble hearing her. She was a little soft-spoken, but as the play went on, you really get the sense that this is a mother in agony. You definitely get the sense of the heart-wrenching strife that a mother goes through when she can't reach her own child. She added a lot to the show. I thought she did an amazing job with the part. She wasn't the main female role, but she was definitely someone you remembered at the end of the show. Matthew Modine plays Captain Keller, Helen's father. He's good. One of the problems that I have with the play is that the female characters are much better written than the males. He was probably the one person in the show that I was disappointed with his performance. I didn't feel a lot of emotion from him. His monologues were almost just like he was giving a speech to the audience because now he was supposed to give a speech to the audience. His character, I think of all of them, is like the super cliche character, like, I'm trying to be the man of the house, but really everybody else runs the house kind of character. So he didn't have much to work with, but it's good, and he actually has most of the, I think, semi-comedic moments in there, so you like him. The Miracle Worker is playing at Circle in the Square, which is a theater in the round. I've seen many productions there, and sometimes the setting works, sometimes it doesn't. It worked for The Miracle Worker, I'd say maybe 85 to 90% of the time. The stage is basically just a circle in the center, and the audience is seated all around, and the furniture moves up and down when they need it to come in. And I understand that they wanted everyone to be able to really get inside their lives, and that's why we're all around them, but from where I sat in the theater, there was pieces I really just couldn't see. I kind of wondered if people directly opposite me got a lot more back of the head than I did, but I was in a really good spot, so I thought it was great. I have to say, when I was asked to see The Miracle Worker, it was really kind of an oh no kind of feeling, because I have seen so many awful amateur productions of this show. I didn't know the play or the movie very well, but I think I did a biography on Helen Keller at some point in school. This was actually a really good history lesson for me, especially in the life of
Anne Sullivan. There's so much that I learned from this show.
It's definitely a heartwarming story. It's totally inspirational. I mean, the fact that it's true, the fact that everything, I mean, not that the words are necessarily verbatim, but the fact that all the actions and the breakthroughs and what they had to do to reach her, it's just incredible.
And I was pleasantly surprised. It was very good to see the show in the hands of talented actors.
Definitely would recommend it to women and mothers and daughters and girlfriends going out. I also think it's a good play for families.
I would definitely recommend this to my friends. I think they would really enjoy it. I think they would be surprised by a lot of it. I think this is just going a lot deeper than what we might do in our social studies or English classes.
It's a good show for everybody. It's especially good for all of those who have seen, really bad productions of this, to kind of clear your mind once and for all and see a really good production of The Miracle Worker.
What she needs to learn is that things have names, that words can be her eyes to the world outside her and inside too. What is she without words? With them she can think, have ideas, be reached. There's not a